it's a test match tomorrow. Ireland versus England. It's about who plays better tomorrow. It's not about anything else. It's not about previous form or where you stand. It's about who plays better tomorrow, and that's something that we've always been focused on. Is our performance, and we know if we play well tomorrow, we'll be in with a shout. But if we don't fire, this English team has incredible quality and will, can beat anyone on their day. It's not long ago they were competing in the last two games of the World Cup. So we know we're in for a huge test tomorrow here in Twickenham, as always.
How would you describe sort of the confidence and belief in the group, though, seeing, from your performances, the wins, and just even the system in Ireland seems to be the envy of so many other nations at the moment?
Yeah, look, we've worked hard on it, and we've worked hard on it for a long time, and 100% it gives you confidence, results, performances, you get confidence from it. We have a bit of momentum, but as I said, it comes down to backing up performance after performance, and the best teams do that consistently, and we have a chance to be consistent tomorrow.
Thanks, Stephen.
Peter, wins for Ireland at Twickenham used to be rare, but now they're a more regular occurrence. Is there still the same fear factor about coming to Twickenham as perhaps there was in days gone by?
Look, I think playing away, winning away in any stadium in this competition is incredibly tough. You look at the stats, across the last however many Six Nations going back along, it's tough to win away from home, regardless of where you are, and no more so than Twickenham. It's obviously a fortress of rugby for England, and certainly we've picked up some wins here. But again, you look at them, we had to play unbelievably well to get the wins. Some unbelievable rugby that we played, and that's what tomorrow's going to take. Is a special performance from this group, and you're going to get, as I said, sick of me saying it, but it's about the performance tomorrow. It's an incredibly difficult place to come and play, and it's even more difficult to win.
You're on an incredible winning run in Six Nations. If you had to pick one thing, what is this winning streak? What is the key factor you think that has made Ireland so good?
You see, the problem is you can't pick one thing. There's so many moving parts. There's so much to work on. Be it opposition, be it us. It's about who can put the whole package together, and we've done that to certain extents in the last few games. But every time we come back on a Sunday or Monday when we're back in camp, we've loads of stuff to do and work on, and every team chases the perfect performance, but that's everyone's going to acknowledge that's never going to happen, and the hunger, I think, and the desire from the group to consistently get better is probably what stands out to me. But again, it's hard to put your finger on one thing. You've got to put them all together, and that's the difficult thing.
Thanks, Julian.
Yeah. You've got Hugo Keenan back in the side tomorrow. What would you say were his particular qualities? What does he bring to the team? Your point of view?
Well, look, he's world-class full-back, full stop. That's what he is. And every team needs world-class players if you want to win, and he's certainly one of them for us. And every part of his game as a full-back is world-class. So it's great to have him back.
Thanks, Murray.
Peter, what are the English qualities you're most wary of?
Look, I think their tenacity in their set piece, their ability to disrupt set piece is through the roof. I think their ability with regard to disrupt breakdown, the quality of poachers they have, counter ruckers. Their power game is really, really strong. Their forward stuff around the corner, and I think their backs have a great balance of knowing when to play when it's on, and it's again a massive defensive test for us tomorrow with the way they attack.
I think you're good mates with Jamie George, as far as I'm aware. Have you gone to each other?
No, we haven't. Certainly very good friends with him, but no, it's a business week. You know what I mean, and he's in the same boat. So, yeah, that's it.
Thanks. Off the ball and then we'll.
You mentioned the team, Peter, striving for greatness and trying to get better week after week. On a personal level, what are you looking to improve with yourself week on week, especially in the relatively new role as captain?
Yeah, well, look, I get feedback each week from coaches or players. You know, we've different points with leadership group that we meet, and it's not about, you know, me. It's about us assessing everything. You know what I mean? You're trying to get better in every area, which is the beauty of the group. And look, certainly for me, it's a new role, but I've been lucky enough to be involved in lots of leadership groups, and you know, come across a lot of experienced leaders and taking bits here and there from them, and you know, it's great to have a group around you that can give you great feedback on that as well. But you know, you've a good handle on it at this point. I'm a good way down the line at this stage.
Thanks. Yeah.
Peter, just with you know, Ireland players and England players, they don't often meet, with the exception of the Heineken Cup. Sorry, you know, the Champions Cup. Has that essentially influenced anything in this build up to the week? Has there been has that lifted it? And you know, how Ireland's looking at maybe some England players that they don't meet at club level as they would against some Scotland players and Welsh players in the URC?
Yeah, look, I think it happens. We've come across each other a fair bit. I think, you know, we had Northampton, Leinster had Leicester. I think Connacht had Saracens, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. I know we don't play each other in our domestic leagues, but you know, between all our provinces, we come across, you know, a good chunk of the lads, and so that feedback comes in. You know what I mean. The Leinster lads have spoken about, you know, the players that they played against the last couple of weeks. You know, we've spoken about, you know, the likes of Dixon at 9 who did a lot of damage to us in Thomond Park. So I know we don't play in the same leagues, but you know, you certainly get a handle from our European stuff, as you said, and obviously we do a lot of video on the English players, and you know, the last few weeks obviously we've had to study them. So you know, you get your ins here and there.
Last couple of questions, Sky Sports and Ruth.
England at the World Cup, it was clear what their identity, their game plan was. Is it harder to predict what they might bring tomorrow, given how they're starting to play, trying to play, and also the inclusion of Manny Fairwood-Bossa?
What was the last question?
The inclusion of Manny Fairwood-Bossa.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, look, they're difficult to predict because certainly, look, they've got a couple of new coaches in, and you know, I've been there before with obviously you know, the Leinster lads with Jock and that kind of thing, and look, it takes a bit of time, and you could see that it's clicking with them, and obviously the more they get into this, the more they're going to grow, and you know whether, yeah, look, it's always difficult to predict what their plan is. You know what I mean? You can see the outline of what they're trying to do, but as I said, they're growing all the time, and you know it's going to be a massive test for us tomorrow.
Last two questions, Ruth, and then gentleman in there.
Yeah, Peter. There have been some big calls made this week for the Ireland squad. Some key players haven't got into the squad, but Andy talked about how well they've taken the news. Does that speak volumes for the environment that has been created here?
Yeah, look, it speaks volumes of the competition that we have, the quality of players that we have. If you want to be world class, you have to have a really extended squad that can fill in, and you know, you've guys who have been left out of the squad would you know, you'd be glad to have in most teams in the world, you know. But I think that has to be the case if you want to be competitive, and you know, we push each other hard, and yeah, look, as I've spoken about the people before, you know, it's all about the team. It's not about you. You know, you can't be that selfish. It's about the team, and I'm not surprised that Andy's spoken like that.
That's the last question here in this section.
In terms of the standards that you guys have been setting and what we've been enjoying watching on TV and so on, do you think this is the best Irish team you've ever been part of?
Look, I've been lucky to play with lots of good players and teams. If you were to, you know, if I was have to nail the colours, I'd have to say yes. You know what I mean? it's hard to compare because rugby has moved on and the game is different. But in a short answer, I think it is. You know, I think the quality of player. You know, it's a really, really healthy, good, thought-provoking, enjoyable environment. But obviously, the quality of obviously performance and results speaks for itself. But as I said, you know, hard to compare, but yeah, it's certainly up there anyway.